So I wanted to talk about, I know I had mentioned in a previous video, like if you are exhausted, listen to your body. You might not want to push and stress your body out when you've had a long day and you're exhausted and you're trying to push yourself to go to class. So we had gotten ourselves prepared for this Valley Judo class that we were going to do. Super excited about it too. So what had happened was we had prepared, we had got ready, we were super stoked. We were on our way out the door, all of our stuff in our hands. And then Chris gets called in, like boom, like that. And I could hear it too because he's reading his texts and I hear, I'm like, oh no. It's that big long exhale. That means he's got to go to freaking work, man. He's going to, and I was thinking to myself, this is going to be either, I'm not going to go or I'm going to push forward and show up regardless and try to make it work. Right. So, I just threw out some ideas like, let's just go and drop me off at, jiu-jitsu and then come back. Cause we're doing 2 classes. We're going to do the fundamental class and the Valley Judo. Right, so we had prepared ourselves to do this, and then he gets called in, and right when we're leaving. So anyway, I started pushing out like solutions just so we stayed in a solution mindset and not a defeated type of unmotivated feeling. So he's like, how about I just take the truck and you take the car? So I was like, that's a great idea. We both left and went our separate ways. And I mean, in his line of work, he never knows what he's gonna show up to. So he ended up having to repair something and ended up missing the majority of fundamental class. So that was interesting. It was so funny because he was like, he had literally his rash guard on, and so he had to go run to the closet, put on a work shirt. So I see him show up towards the last part of class, and he just ended up slowly taking off his boots and socks, and I knew he wasn't going to come on the mats, but I was kind of looking over hoping that he would, but I was already like in deep with class. So he came for the Valley Judo though, and we were very happy with our experience there. I can't even begin to tell you how fun it was. Like it pushed me so freaking hard. Like I remember getting to this point and I'm like, he's all, what did he say? He's like, all right, everybody line up. I'm like, yeah, class is over. My heart was pounding. I was sweating bullets. I was having fun, but I was like, I really thought class, I didn't even look at the clock or anything. And he's like, sprints. I'm like, shit, dude. So, I wasn't allowing myself to give up too easily. However, I was being cautious. So when I was doing like rounds, we were practicing our drills and I got kicked in the knee, like in my bad knee, dude. Like, and I mean, I felt the burn, the shock, and I was like, this is what I used to do in the past. I would have just kept going. Like, I would not have just stopped for a moment. I knew I needed to. My body was telling me, hold on. Time out, just take a breath for a second. And I did. My partner was super cool. It hurt. Like it hurt. It was a stinger. I had to rotate my knee a little bit, move it around a little bit and get through it for a moment and then get right back to it again. But see, here's what my mind was saying. My mind was saying, go sit down. You're done for the night, dude. What the are you doing to me? You know what I mean? It's like, no, you just take a break for a second. We love doing this. So just take a break, recuperate, get back to it. Oh, I checked a freaking kick and Chris's kick, oh my God, and his big old leg. And, oh man, I got bruises on my shins, bruises on the inner knee. It was so much fun. I feel like I'm where I belong. This is my happy spot, is doing self-defense. That's where I started, and that's where I want to continue, is self-defense. I was really stoked that we both came together and made it work so that we could go to class. It's like, look, you're paying for these classes. So, I mean, we got to try our hardest to get there. We weren't exhausted. Well, Chris was exhausted. He had a long day. He wasn't exhausted to the point where he wasn't going to go to class. He wanted to do this. He's been wanting to do Valley Judo for so many years. And there wasn't anything like that. So he did the Krav Maga, which is still a good self-defense system. So yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to bring up, is just that, you know, try to, it's like, do you show up no matter what? Well, it really depends, you know. Like, remember I said, you know, if you're exhausted, you know, you've had a long day, you're like, oh man, jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean? Your body's telling you to rest, okay? But when you're not, it hasn't been a super long day and you don't feel as exhausted, laziness and exhaustion, those are two different things. So, yeah, you try to make it work. You know, don't let the excuses come in as a reason to not go when you really can. So it's kind of like to know whether or not you can or you can't. Your body's really telling you that. You just got to listen. So, and our energy, our mind, everything was ready to do this on Tuesday, and we did. We made it freaking happen. Even though Chris got called in, we could have used that as an excuse. Oh, I was gonna stay home. No, we separated, and that was our first time separating in class too. Because I've always been Chris's partner. We've always been partners. So, and you know, we talk to each other and stuff and goof around, and it was weird not having him there, but I knew who my partner was, so it wasn't really that bad. Okay, I'm ready to start Valley Judo. I have never done this before, and I'm super excited and nervous all at once, so we'll see how it goes.